Let's restuff my childhood Build-A-Bear. This is Sid the Sloth from Ice Age. He came out in 2012, and I got him when I was around 6 or 7. I used to take him everywhere with me, and he has been very loved. So because of that, his neck is kind of floppy now, and he just doesn't look his best. So I want to wash him, and then take him to get restuffed at Build-A-Bear. He also has a hole in his back where the stitching came loose, so it would be very helpful to get him restitched. And might as well get him restuffed while we're at it.
Here's a close-up of what Stitch looks like before his makeover. Not only is his neck floppy and his stuffing not even in some places, but he's definitely not the color that he used to be. And I think that's mostly because he really needs a bath. You can also see that with time, he's become a lot more floppy than he used to be, which would be fine if he wasn't permanently looking down because of his loose neck. I don't know why Sid's stitching in the back came loose. I think if I remember correctly, it had something to do with the thread that they used, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, it's time to unstuff Sid. The very awkward step of getting a Build-A-Bear restuffed is having to pull out all of their stuffing. It's not too difficult, but it's a little tedious, and it feels weird to take the stuffing out of a stuffed animal. Especially when they're looking you in the eye like, why are you doing this to me? But it didn't take very long with Sid because he really doesn't have that much stuffing in him because of his body shape.
Okay, Sid is officially unstuffed, and I kind of feel like a hunter holding up the animal that they just hunted for some reason. He is completely skinned now, and this is really weird to look at, so let's just get him washed so I don't have to think about the Sid skin anymore.
Okay, so Sid is officially washed, and I'm here at the mall to get him stuffed. The great thing about getting your Build-A-Bear restuffed at Build-A-Bears is completely free, no matter what size Build-A-Bear you have. That's also another great thing about having a Build-A-Bear is they wear really well if you take care of them. Some of mine have definitely worn better than others, however, I still have all of my childhood Build-A-Bears. I gotta say, I'm pretty tired of seeing Sid's skin. It's looking pretty weird, so it's time to get him stuffed. My Build-A-Bear just got a new stuffing machine, so it took a lot quicker than I expected. Although I feel like the stuffing machine just being straight blue kind of loses the whimsy that the stuffing machines used to have. Even the old one that was red and yellow just felt more inviting, instead of this cold blue tone that's just kind of sad and off-putting to me. Now, one thing about when you get a Build-A-Bear restuffed is it does take longer since they have to hand restitch them up. Whereas when you buy a Build-A-Bear unstuffed and have them stuffed, the stitching is already there, so all they have to do is pull it closed and tie it. But it's really not too much longer of a wait. And Sid is officially stuffed. He looks so cute. I'm surprised with how vibrant his colors look, and also I'm very glad that my Build-A-Bear has a bath because I had to bathe him for a while because of the way his fur is. Brushing his fur at the bath just made him look even closer to brand new. So nice that he's actually able to hold up his head now. Do you think he looks good? Let me know in the comments because we're not done yet. I want to get him a new shirt since he did actually have a shirt when he came out. Also, make sure to stay tuned to the end because we're going to be doing a Scrat as well. So I want to get Sid a new shirt because he came with a shirt originally that said Ice Age, and I think he'd look cute in a new outfit. But I wasn't sure what to get him, so we're going to try some different things on him. Also, story time here, I'm actually lucky to have Sid because I literally almost lost him. So one time, me and my mom went on a vacation, and we were staying at Shelter's Cove. And of course, you know, it's not hard to look at any childhood photo of me and see that I always brought people with me. No matter where I went, I always had a stuffed animal, usually more than one. And this time was one of those times where I had more than one of them with me. Sid was among the stuffed animals that I brought with me, and I had a super fun time with him there, but for some reason, I actually forgot him at the hotel. At first, I didn't even notice that he was gone until I started to look around for him because I wanted to do his voice. I had something that I wanted to make him say, but when I looked around for him, I just didn't see him. But I was actually super lucky because my mom called the hotel and there was a super nice person who worked there who actually shipped him back to my house. I was super worried the entire time that he was being shipped that he was going to get lost in the mail because I was always under the impression that it would be impossible to replace my furry friends because it wouldn't be the same if it wasn't the same exact one. For example, I also have this Horton plushie that I used to take everywhere with me, and he of course got very worn because I loved him a lot. So somebody bought me a new one as a gift thinking that he could be replaced and that I'd like the new one better. I still liked my old Horton best, and the other Horton just became a different Horton, like Horton's long lost brother or something. You guys have no idea how good it felt to get Sid back in that box. When my mom opened the box, I was just so happy to see him again because I was really worried that something was going to happen to him. And I think when I picked him up from the box, that was probably the tightest I ever hugged Sid. Ever since I was little, my mom has done voices for every single one of my stuffed animals, and it's something that she has passed on to me. So all of my stuffed animals have such deep lore and such complex personalities. By the way, side note, the reason I put back this shirt is because I realized it says my first Build-A-Bear, and Sid was indeed not my first Build-A-Bear. But if you want to see me restuff my first Build-A-Bear, let me know in the comments below. That they all feel like my friends. Even to this day, I still do voices for all of my stuffed animals and pretty much everything that you see on this account. In fact, that's actually been a huge influence for some of my more creative mini-movie style videos, as my dolls, figures, and stuffed animals are like actors in my film. I ended up going with a tie-dye smiley face shirt for Sid because not only did the color scheme suit him, but I also feel like the shirt fit his personality. Sid's personality is a lighthearted, chill friend who's like friends with everybody. Like literally, you know, the glue that holds the friend group together. You can't make a plan if Sid's not gonna be there. But an even bigger part of his core personality is that he's from a family of scammers. Quick question, do you think this shirt is cute for my cat? My cat Rogu feels really secure in shirts. For some reason, having clothes on just makes her more confident, and the Build-A-Bear shirts fit her body style best. Anyways, back to Sid. Since I have multiple Sid plushies, they don't all have the same personality. In fact, they're just a family of Fids. And they're all businessmen, but don't invest with a Fid because it's probably a Ponzi scheme. Investing with the Fids is basically shorthand for losing your money.
Now that we have Sid restuffed, let's restuff Scrat.
Now, I got Scrat at the same time as Sid, and he has the same floppy neck problem, and for some reason his stitching just didn't stay closed. Have any of you guys had a Build-A-Bear that's back came open like this? Because this is a multiple plushie problem for me, and I'm wondering if I'm the problem. Anyways, Scrat doesn't have nearly as much lore as Sid does, as Sid is pretty much a main character, but Scrat's also been very loved. When it comes to his personality, he's kind of a screwball. He's a little bit of a weird guy who doesn't really have a lot of friends in the whole stuffed animal ecosystem, but he's always there to give you his unwarranted opinion on who's his, quote, type. Yes, that is the voice that I made up for Scrat, by the way. Now, Scrat will take a lot less time to stuff since he's not getting any clothes and we're not doing a fashion show with him. All Scrat needs is stuffed and dried, and then we're done for today. The reason I'm not getting any clothes for Scrat is because of his shape. It's kind of hard to find anything that fits him right. One interesting thing I've noticed about Build-A-Bear over the years is they've changed the shape of the plushies. You used to be able to get baby clothes and dress your stuffed animals up in that, but nowadays, the way that they're shaped, you can really only put official clothes on them. Now, when it comes to Scrat's heart, I got him a new heart, but I also happen to have his old heart, so I put him back in there. Weirdly enough, with Sid, I don't actually have his original heart. But if anybody in my household would lose a major organ that you need to survive without even noticing, it would definitely be Sid. He is unbothered. Once again, the Build-A-Bear associate is resewing the back for him, and this will take a little bit longer if you're taking in a Build-A-Bear that has thick fabric on its back. For example, Stitch. Stitch has this really thick pattern on his back, and it takes a little bit longer for them to sew through. Now it's time to bathe Scrat, and I'm just gonna have Sid sitting there staring at me menacingly. I can't tell you how happy this whole Build-A-Bear trip has made me, seeing my stuffed animals in their former glory again, because it's really difficult to do their voices or give them a personality when their necks are all floppy and they're permanently looking down. I also feel like with as happy as this made me at the ripe age of 19, this is just a sign that you should never get rid of something that you enjoyed just because of your age. Because even though a lot of people think you should get rid of your childish things when you get older, they can actually bring you a lot of joy as an adult, and it's a healthy coping mechanism. As somebody who has depression myself due to being in pain all the time because I have a chronic illness, seeing my childhood Build-A-Bears look just as bright and happy as I remember just makes my day a little bit better. They've been my friends ever since I was a kid, and no matter how old I get, that will always be true. And I'm so happy that I got this opportunity to be able to restore them to their former glory. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this video, then make sure to like this video and comment below that you like this video. See you guys next time!